going on, people? Today we're going to be talking about STEAMBOT, because STEAMBOT, in my opinion, is probably one of the better heroes to use in the new Colosseum constellation. And it's a hero that, generally speaking, a lot of people don't use in Colosseum. And it usually is because he's a tank that doesn't tank all too well generally. Now, what ends up happening now is that the constellation is barehanded and gets a huge boost for defense and magic defense at 75% each, which means that all of these heroes right here that have that star is going to have that huge defense bonus. So I took a look at the teams that are available and what I could do, and honestly, this is the team that I generally am using. There are a couple of variations depending on what the enemy is using, and it does have a couple of weak spots, as all teams do, obviously, but there are a couple of ways to go around it as well. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about what makes this team so solid. First of all, Berserker and STEAMBOT are going to serve as our main tanks, and obviously also because they take advantage of that huge 75% boost to magic defense and defense. So they're going to be the tanky ones. Now, my choices for damage is going to be Black Crow and Grove Guardian. Now, the reason for that is kind of twofold, right? The reason I'm using Black Crow is generally for the reason that most people would use Black Crow, and that is specifically Piercing Arrow. Reduces defense by 420. Now, that is actually quite a lot. Now, there's a lot of other things that actually makes her pretty good, like Vengeance raises her attack, and then Arrow Rain is like an area of effect damage, but the main selling point here is Piercing Arrow. And the reason we're going to be focusing on this is because since I am going to be using STEAMBOT as well, check out what STEAMBOT has. Throttle and Rev. It does damage, but the main part to take is reduces defense by 335. The good thing to note here is that this stacks, meaning that whatever tank your opponent is going to be leading off with is usually going to die like that. And that is even if they take advantage of the constellation this week. So because STEAMBOT and Black Crow are going to be reducing the enemy's defense to pretty much zero, we're also going to be using Berserker for another reason. And that is this. Arctic Roar increases strength of all allies by 120. So you see where we're going with this, right? We're reducing a lot of defense, and we're also raising our own attack. Now, of course, she also comes with a couple of other things, like some stuns and all of that, but Arctic Roar is the main reason she's going to be there, as well as the defense boost for this week. And of course, we have Lore Weaver to serve as our healer, as we generally would do. But there is actually another variation of this team, because Lore Weaver actually ends up being the weak spot of this team. Now, the last one that we use is Grove Guardian. There isn't any specific reason outside of Grove Guardian just does a lot of physical damage, which is what we're looking for. But it also has the additional perk of a huge stun for 3 seconds. The Nut Job is what I call it. Nut Shot, but whatever. And then the Jam Factory, for those pesky people that want to use things like Witch Doll, Petite Devil, etc. This comes with a nice silence. So it's a nice little combination. So a lot of the teams that you guys are going to see a lot is like this one. You got Berserker being the main tank, and then you have like Petite Devil and stuff like that. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how this team actually operates with that. I actually did not do a lot of Colosseum because I was waiting to be taken down like in the 30s or 40s to do this video, but this team is just so solid that I got taken down to 17 in about a day of not playing Colosseum. So it's very solid defensively, but once people figure out your weakness, which we'll touch on in a bit, there's actually something that you can do to reverse it. So this is the type of team that you're going to generally run into, whether it's like Berserker or like a Don Guapo, Rose Knight, then you have Grove Guardian, Petite Devil, sometimes it's Witch Doll, but this is generally the team that you're going to go up against, right? Well, take a look at how this team fares against this one. Now, keep in mind that the Berserker on their end has that massive magic defense and defense boost by 75%, and still, look how fast they're going to go down. Watch this. Just look how this team just dismantles this one. To the point that a lot of times Petite Devil is a non-factor by the time she procs, even if she procs. So there goes the first defense reduction. STEAMBOT gets his off, and look, Berserker's dead already. Berserker is already dead. Now, let's say our Berserker goes down, which does, right? But we still have the advantage because we still have the magic or the defense reduction on our side. And watch this. By the time Petite Devil gets to proc, even if she does, she's not gonna get to proc. But generally speaking, if that Petite Devil gets to proc, it's usually too late. So even if you exchange one tank for another, the damage reduction is not going to be enough for them because we're going to have STEAMBOT clearing the way for us. So that's generally how this team usually goes. Even if Petite Devil gets to proc, doesn't change much at all. I want to see if there's any other variation around here. Oh, this guy has been attacking me and is starting to use the same team. I guess he liked it. This is the same team. I want to see if there's something. This team is only one tank, so it won't. You know what? Let's actually see how only one tank fares against this team. Because technically speaking, even though they have an 11k, once the Rose Knight goes down, their tank, quote unquote, is going to be Seiya, and that's probably not going to end well for them. But let's take a look. Let's take a look and see how this goes. This Rose Knight is probably going to die instantly. So let's take a look. So Black Crow goes ahead and does the defense reduction right there. Then STEAMBOT right there. And then that Rose Knight is pretty much dead right here. Just waiting on that one hit. Where is it? There we go. Yeah. And then from now, it's just cleanup. Look at this. We get the STEAMBOT stun. And it's just, I don't know if we're even going to lose one hero. So yeah, one tank is not going to work against this team. Even 3 tanks a lot of times struggles because the damage reduction is just so much that it's just too much to actually take into account. Now, this Seiya is actually being very annoying back here, which is, it might actually take down my Black Crow, which I don't think it's going to matter much because the 11k is about to die right now, and now we can focus on the Seiya. Like I said, Seiya essentially was going to be their second tanky hero just because he comes back to life, but didn't really run into much issue on this one because one tank is just not going to do it against this team. Now, I really do wonder if there's another team that we can run into. Let me see. Is there... This guy also ran into this team and is using it as well. It's funny because I was not seeing any STEAMBOT being used at all until I started using it, and then people started to catch on like, okay, wait a minute. STEAMBOT's kind of rocking my world. But here it is. This is the type of team that this team will actually struggle against. And here's the reason why. That Don Guapo and Demon Slayer combo, forget the Femme Fatale. Femme Fatale is not even needed in this team. Generally speaking, that Femme Fatale can be something else entirely, and it will still make us struggle. Because what's going to happen is, the Don Guapo is going to rush over to my Lore Weaver, and so is that Demon Slayer. Femme Fatale as well, but I think Femme Fatale is just overkill. My Lore Weaver is going to instantly die, and then my Black Crow is going to soon follow, and essentially what's going to happen is it's going to turn into a 3v5 almost instantly. You got Berserker, STEAMBOT, and then Grove Guardian. 3 on 5. And generally speaking, it's not going to end well. Who's invading me? And why? Oh. That's funny. But yeah, so watch this. My Lore Weaver is going to instantly die. Black Crow is going to generally follow. And from there is 3v5 with no healer on my end and a healer on theirs. Generally speaking, I should lose. The only time I would see me winning is that if somehow the Demon Slayer Femme Fatale gets killed by like Grove Guardian's ulti where it targets all of them. But even then, I don't even see that very likely happening. But enough talk. Let's just see it in action. Watch my Lore Weaver just insta-die. And then from there, everything just goes downhill. Watch this. The reason also that my Lore Weaver dies that quickly is because I have no Rose Knight. So I don't have that damage mitigation right from the start. And like I said, Black Crow actually gets a proc off, which I did not see coming. And Actually, literally what I said earlier, what did I say? That if Grove Guardian gets to kill the assassins, that's when I can see me being, like, maybe winning this. And, man, this is close. I might actually win. Guys, I might. This is how strong this team is. Even though it was 3v5 almost instantly, somehow it can kind of bring it back. And I didn't want to win this. Actually, maybe I might not, because I have no healer. So maybe I actually won't win this. But generally speaking, this is the type of team that will beat me. Yeah, there's the heal. So yeah, I pretty much lose. So even though a lot of things actually worked in my favor for most of it, I'm still going to lose. Just because I don't have that healer. My healer instantly died. But it was close. You guys saw how close this was. So this is the weakness. If you take out the Lore Weaver almost instantly, from there the team just kind of folds. And a lot of people still haven't figured that out, to use the Don Guapo Demon Slayer combo. So if you run into this team, that's the combo you want to go with. Because as you can see, it struggles. Even though, I mean, 20 seconds still, it kind of making it a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be. But I'll give you another example, right? So that one failed, as we kind of figured it would. There is very few times that I would win that, but it's very far and few. I'll take a look at this one, right? From Nas, Eerie. Look at the team that they use. Demon Slayer, Don Guapo is all they needed. And watch my Lore Weaver just kind of fold. Watch. Whoop! Dead. And then my Black Crow, whoop! Dead. I think what even made it that close is that my Black Crow got to get their ultimate off. And that actually set the way off for my Grove Guardian to kill a couple of them. But generally speaking, this is the big weakness for this team. But if you're the one attacking and you don't see any combination on their end, this team essentially beats most teams out there. So, how do you beat a team like this, right? Well, if my Lore Weaver is going to die almost instantly, do you know what ends up happening, right? Where's that other guy? Okay, so if you're going up against a team like this, do you know a simple fix for this? If my Lore Weaver is going to instantly die, obviously, you remove the Lore Weaver. And then a lot of times people might think, okay, well, you add more damage to it. And while that could be the case, you can use somebody that will give you more damage just generally. What I like to do, just add a Rose Knight. Why do I add a Rose Knight? First of all, the assassins will still target Rose Knight generally, but Rose Knight is pretty tanky. Not only that, Rose Knight will give you that initial shield that will mitigate some damage. Rose Knight also has a stun that will go a long way. Rose Knight also has a heal that will go a long way. So by the time that the Demon Slayer and the Femme Fatale are dead, their tanks are usually just gonna fall by the wayside. So let's see the difference now, just by swapping Lore Weaver with Rose Knight. Because again, you lose your healer, but since you're just going for extreme damage, it doesn't matter. So watch this. So here we go. They're gonna start targeting. Their Berserker is already dead. Now the assassins are the ones being targeted, but watch this. Even if I start losing heroes here, I think it's already too late. It's already too late for them. They're just not going to do enough damage. Watch this. It's just not going to be enough. Even with a heal, I'm still in the driver's seat because I still have all these stuns. I still have the defense reduction. They're just not going to be able to do enough. So if you ever run into something like this, just add a Rose Knight. And you're going to have a better time. Look at this. They're still struggling. And I just lost one hero. And look, I'm still fairly healthy. I think Rose Knight is about to do her heal, which it's not even going to be needed. So, just a little variation of this team. If you have your Lore Weaver being targeted, swap it out for Rose Knight and insta win. That's it. So before I go ahead and migrate, we'll just go ahead. It's the same team. Everybody's running the same team. So if you're running into the same team, just run this team. It's an auto win. The Berserker dies almost instantly. Even if yours dies with it, the exchange after that is usually almost 100%. I haven't seen it go somebody else's way yet, because it's just too much damage. Look at that. Berserker is down. My Berserker maybe is about to go down here fairly soon, but I think it's too late. Yeah, look. It's too late. The Petite Devil might actually proc here. Is it? It is. Okay. So you're gonna see that even if the Petite Devil procs in this type of thing, it literally makes no sense. You end up with the same. Your Berserker will usually die, but the end result is gonna be the same. It's gonna be a win for you. So, yeah. If you're running into any issues this week, this is the team for you. Lore Weaver. And if you're running into Assassins, swap out Lore Weaver for Rose Knight. That's it. This is this week's constellation, honestly. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. If you're running other teams, well, for sure, let me know down in the comment section if you want to see more Colosseum videos, more team building, etc. My thought about what I'm using this week. Then definitely let me know in the comment section. There are some weeks, honestly, that I'm just not feeling the constellation, and I just throw a bunch of stuff just seeing how it works. And sometimes I just fail a bunch of times just to see what works, what doesn't. But this constellation, this is the team. But yeah, appreciate you guys for coming through. Remember, my code for Aptoid is going to be changing. As soon as I get the new code for the 5% off, I will update you guys on that. But yeah, appreciate you guys for coming through. And until later, bye.